Welcome back to CBS This Morning. The U.S. plans to start withdrawing thousands of troops from Kabul this week. Many Afghans are still, as you see, crowding the airport. They're trying to get out, while the Taliban leaders say they will prevent more from leaving. Some veterans are trying to help those behind Taliban roadblocks to escape the country. We spoke with 3 veterans who served in Afghanistan and a U.S. contractor whose family fled the country back in the 1990s and eventually settled here in America. They told us what it's been like watching the Taliban take control.
I was a West Point graduate, and in 2012, I served as a cultural support team leader in Afghanistan.
I was in the Air Force for 20 years. I deployed to Afghanistan 4 times.
I am a retired Marine. I served in Afghanistan as part of Task Force Leatherneck.
My name is Safi Rauf, and I was a civilian contractor in Afghanistan for 4 years. My family immigrated from Afghanistan to a refugee camp in Pakistan. I didn't fit into either side. I was kind of in the middle. I looked at a lot of those people. They looked like me. A lot of them looked at me like I was there to hunt them.
In 2001, I lost a couple of very close friends. And then to go there and see how we hadn't been able to improve the situation much.
We were able to work with girls who went to school. We were able to work with midwives in a clinic. Everybody made it home. But, you know, teams that we worked with, not everybody made it home. Those are hard losses.
Our military mission in Afghanistan will conclude on August 31st.
I always knew that the United States was going to leave Afghanistan.
I think I was apprehensive about how it was all going to unfold.
I was happy. I was happy that this was hopefully an end to an era.
Initially, it was a depression, it was an anger, it was a frustration, it was a wondering why did we all sacrifice so many things to just watch it all go away again.
A lot of anger. Not sadness, but a lot of anger towards how hastily we left, but also a lot of the times towards the Afghan government. They did not give their soldiers a fighting chance.
Shocked, numb, sad, angry, and that's the place I land on when I think about friends and family that should be here. When I think about one of my closest friends that would have retired around the same time as myself.
I worried about the girls that went to school. Would they still be able to go? I vacillate between feeling hopeless and feeling like there is something that I can do to try to advocate on behalf of these Afghans and our allies.
Those interpreters that worked with us, that bled with us, and making sure that the promise we made them, they are not left behind, and we bring them, they belong there, this is their home.
We worked with a lot of locals on base, so you would think about what is he going home to, what's his life like, and now just for having served me breakfast, is he going to die? So I worry about that, I definitely do.
We've already endured so much with post-traumatic stress and combat stress, and this is just a trigger.
I'm very concerned we could see more suicides than we normally would. People that aren't able to see the other side are only going to see the negative and the loss of territory and the loss of the current goal instead of being able to see the good that was done.
I hope the little girls that I interacted with in Afghanistan, you know, they remember the freedom.
I hope that we have given them hope.
So we saw somebody who was born, he's 20 years old now. For 2 decades, he has learned how to read, he's learned how to write and communicate with the rest of the world. So I don't think Taliban can contain that for too long.
Our efforts there for 20 years gave the people a chance, it gave them hope. It gave almost an entire generation of people a life that they could have never had before. We did not waste our time, we did not sacrifice for nothing.
That's a very important point, because I think a lot of people wonder as we leave
what was the point?
What were we there for, you know?
It's tough, and every time you look at it, you sort of hold your breath because you feel it could go so wrong so quickly that we're still not out of danger there yet. And it's very, very frightening.
Yeah, but 20 years is a generation, and that's a generation of girls. It's a generation of society building. Those people do move on, and they could do something mighty in the world.